So many hoes, I'm the fireman. Girl, get 2 fucks, what sign you is? Is she a freak? I invite her in. Give her the D like a vitamin. I got the lead in the Vicodin. How you want beef on a diet, bitch? All of my niggas is animals. I feel like Daniel inside the lion's den.
The last shall be first. The Testament of Louise. In every great war, there's a moment where silence says more than 1,000 screams, where the battlefield pauses not because the fight is over, but because something sacred is happening. This is that moment. What began as chaos ends in a quiet, painful revelation. And in this chapter, the last shall be first, we witness the final will of Louise, a man who lost everything but still found the strength to give everything. We see the decay of Val, the desperation of Azam, and the poetic death of a man who knew that pain could be the sharpest weapon. Let's set the scene. Val, still smirking, still soaking in power, gets pierced in the gut by a single arrow. Just one, but it's not just the arrow that breaks him. It's time itself. Slowly, his youthful exterior begins to crumble. Wrinkles across his face like crack in a fake god. His skin dulls. His frame weakens, and we realize something chilling. Sun is rising. The very light of day, Val's greatest weakness, begins to strip him of the stolen time he hoarded. He's aging fast, and he can't stop it. Azam, trapped in a protective prison made of Louise ash, screams from behind his translucent tomb. Karen, activate! Karen, activate! Come on! Come on! He's not screaming in fear. He's screaming in faith, screaming for a miracle, screaming for someone who's already accepted there won't be one to sacrifice. Louise stands there, bloodied, one arm missing, holding onto his shoulder like he's trying to keep his very soul from pouring out. And even in that broken state, he smirks, not in arrogance, but in disbelief. I'm as surprised as you were. Who would have thought I learned from the likes of you, Shadow? He's talking about growth, ironically learned from a monster. But here's the twist. Louise doesn't try to destroy Val. He knows he can't. Instead, he infects him with ash, with pain, with something that Val, even with all his chi absorption, can't erase. You're infected. I may not be able to destroy your cells with my ash, but I'll ensure you're riddled with pain. My ash has attached itself to the cells of your body. You can absorb chi, but not your own cells. You're stuck with this. That line? That line hurts because Val isn't getting old. He's decaying inside, cell by cell, trapped in his own body, unable to purge what Louise have left behind. That's what makes Louise dangerous. Even in death, he becomes permanent. Val's fall, the symbolism is layered here. The sunrise, hope for the world, but destruction for Val. The infection, a metaphor for guilt, consequence, and karma. The ash, remnants of Louise's life, turned into a weapon that will hunt Val for eternity. This ain't just revenge, it's poetic justice. Val can't absorb his way out. He can't heal, he can't run, he's aging, he's burning, he's suffering. And that suffering comes from one person he underestimated. The price of peace. Louise doesn't survive this. That's the heartbreaking truth. Azam watches helplessly. The man who's been a rock in so many battles, the one who could laugh in death's face, has finally made peace with it. Louise knew what was coming, but what makes his final act so powerful, it wasn't about winning. It was about changing the rules. It was about making sure Val doesn't walk away clean. It was about planting a curse deeper than any sword could reach. A slow, agonizing erosion of a false god's youth. The last shall be first. The title ain't just fancy poetry. Louise was the underdog, the throwaway, the expendable. He didn't have the flashy powers, the immortality, the fame, but in the end, he made the deepest cut. Val may have looked immortal, untouchable, divine, but Louise reminded us of a hard truth. Even gods bleed, even legends rot. And the last, the most overlooked, the broken, the one you counted out, they're often the ones that deliver the final blow. Call to action. This chapter wasn't just a turning point in the story. It's a statement on revenge, on sacrifice, on choosing pain, not as a weakness, but as a weapon. Louise died, yeah, but he died clean. Val, the one left infected, alone, rotting in daylight. If you weren't fighting back tears when you heard Louise say, "You're stuck with this," then don't just scroll. Like, comment your favorite Louise moment, and subscribe, because we're not done yet. But to see Shay Hart actually see Louise in his last moments was one of the most beautiful moments of this chapter. The pain in his eyes also showcasing how Brent is able to show 1,000 words and merely just emotion and no words is becoming impeccable. And I would also like to add that Brent, we see the feats. You feel me? I think he was like in central Trinidad, and then from Kagaya being able to teleport to Port of Spain, and for them to instantly be on his ass. And shout out to Lord Forth for even keeping up with Shay Hart. I know y'all probably like, man, this not a feat. That's not a feat. Shay is mad as hell. He went as fast as he possibly could. If you think otherwise, you're weird, right? So that's just, something to think about. Lord Forth he's one of them. But I'm Vaz the activist, and I'm out.